Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the White House. This is the biggest crowd we've had since we got here. I'm Joe Biden. I'm Jill Biden's husband. I'm proud of it. Welcome to Women's History Month celebration. We're honored to have what may well be the most inspiring event we've had at the White House so far. I've often said that America's strength is not just the example of our power, but the power of our example. And I mean that. Look at, I was going to say, look at this stage, but that's enough too. Look at the stage. But there's been a little change in the arrangement of who's on the stage because of the First Lady's husband contracting COVID. But look at this room and what you see. Pardon? That's right. She's fine. It's me. That's not together. The second lady, the first gentleman. How about that? Anyway, an incredible group of members of Congress led by Nancy Pelosi, the first woman speaker. I believe will be considered one of the greatest speakers in our history. I mean that. And she knows what I mean. I've been saying it for years. And members of the most diverse cabinet in the history of this country. And the first to have an equal number of women and men in the cabinet. I'm enormously proud of this team. One person I'm particularly proud of was going to be introducing me is Kamala Harris. But Kamala, as I said, Kamala chose not to take a chance since her husband had contracted COVID, although he's feeling very well, I'm told. By the way, when he tested, he's fine, but out of abundance of caution, she decided she wasn't going to join us today. But let's send her our love because she's something else. And I know how proud she is of our team. Avril Haines, the first woman to lead our intelligence community as Director of National Intelligence. Stand up, Avril. Come on. Stand up. She does everything in secret. That's why she didn't want to stand up. Former Governor Jennifer Granholm, the Energy Department. I often kid her, and I wasn't kidding early on when I was seeking the nomination. Had she been born in America, she'd be standing here and I'd be sitting there. She was the former governor of the state of Michigan. Michigan, wrong. She was a former state, she was a governor. I'm teasing, but we often kidded about it. And Isabel Guzman, Small Business Administration, where are you? Catherine Tai, U.S. Trade Representative, she knows how to cut a deal. And C.C. Rouse, Chair of the Council of Economic Advisors. A number of members are not here today because they're out traveling on behalf of the administration. Janet Yellen, the first female Secretary of the Treasury. Deb Haaland, the first Native American person in the cabinet as Interior Secretary. Gina Raimondo, former governor leading the Commerce Department. Marcia Flood, Housing and Urban Development Vice If I stole any more members of Congress, I would have been in real trouble with Nancy. And Shalonda Young, newly confirmed just minutes ago. Where is she? Shalonda, stand up. Where's Shalonda? Where are you? Where is she? I guess she's not. Okay. Lead the Office of Management and Budget. And Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield, who is at the United Nations and does an incredible job. It's not just the cabinet. We have women in senior roles in every level here at the White House, across the administration, many of whom are here today, and something I'm very proud of. I kept my commitment to nominate the first black woman to the Supreme Court. And she's really good. And that's not all. We have confirmed more black women to the Circuit Court of Appeals than every previous administration combined. As a matter of fact, 75% of my judicial nominees are women. It matters. It matters. Above all, we see the power of each and every one of you and the example that they, in fact, give the whole country. You know, I want to thank you all for being here at home and all those who are helping me helping the administration around the world. That includes a special guest of the First Lady and the First Lady of Iceland, Eliza Reid. Eliza, where are you? Stand. She is a real champion for gender equality. We had a nice long talk. Women's History Month is an opportunity to honor the legacy, the vision, and the achievements of trailblazing women and girls who've built, shaped, and strengthened the very character of this nation. And despite hardships and exclusion and discrimination, women won the right to vote, campaigned against injustice, shattered countless barriers, and expanded the possibilities for all Americans. I think you underestimate all you've done. They came before us, and they're all here today from all across the country as well, especially everyone who has gotten through this pandemic. Frontline workers and service members, researchers and teachers, caregivers, leaders in their communities. Today, I'm honored to be with some of the world's greatest soccer players who happen to be women. The U.S. women's national team, both past and present. Please, I'm going to ask you to come up on the stage. You couldn't see him anyway, because everybody else is standing. This is, they've won World Cups, the Olympics, gold medals, and, and after much, much, much too long, equal pay. Yeah. Equal pay. Today's Equal Pay Day. And they just came for an event that discussed our administration's effort to close the pay gap. So thank you so much. And by the way, you're not only helping yourself, you're helping us get it done for other women. Thank you. Yes, thank you. That's the laser. All right. Thank you. And look, we're doing so by expanding access to good-paying jobs, lower costs for child care and elder care so women can get back to work or their families can have economic security. And earlier today, I signed an executive order to promote efforts to achieve pay equality and pay equity for employees of federal contractors And it's my hope that this sets an example for all private companies to follow as well. That's the purpose of what I did. Let me just close with this. Gender equality is not a women's issue alone. It benefits everybody. That's a fact. It benefits everyone. Our society, our economy, and our country. And I hope you're able to walk through the wonderful exhibit we have downstairs celebrating Women's History Month and the history of the journey of America. Back in February, I was in Lorain, Ohio, outside of Cleveland, to talk about a new infrastructure law that was going to transform our nation. It was the day before the birthday of Lorraine's most famous, one of her most famous daughters, Nobel Prize winner and Pulitzer Prize winner, and one of Jill's favorite authors, Toni Morrison. Toni was also the mother-in-law of Dr. Rouse, one of our nation's top economic thinkers. Ms. Morrison left us words to live by. She said, "We've got more yesterdays than anybody. We need some kind of tomorrow. We need some kind of tomorrow." Downstairs is a display honoring Toni Morrison and that singular belief in tomorrow. That singular belief that in America, anything is possible. I was once asked by Xi Jinping in China, how could I define America? I said, yes, in one word, God's truth, in one word, possibilities. We believe anything is possible in this country. And that singular power of example shows our daughters, our granddaughters, not a single thing a man can do that a woman can't do as well or better. And by the way, I can honestly say without fear of contradiction, from the time my daughter was born, our daughter was born, so the time our 4 granddaughters were born, I've told them every day they could listen that there's not a single thing they can't do. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And they are living proof of that truth. I want to start talking about my granddaughters now if I can. But especially the women I'm honored to introduce, and who has more influence on them and has set an example that I think I'm just fortunate, and they're fortunate to have witnessed and be part of. And with that, let me introduce the First Lady of the United States. Before she comes up, I want you to know, everybody knows I love her more than she loves me. I'm going to tell the story, Joe. Tell the story. When we first got to the Vice President's office, as those of you who are from Washington know, you walk down the steps from the Eisenhower building, you're looking right into the Vice President's office. And the windows, I think, are 16 feet high, and they have 12 big panes of glass, and 4 of them going across the office. I think it's 4. And so Jill's favorite day of the year is Valentine's Day. And so she had gotten, as a professor or teacher, she's still teaching full-time, a teacher, she got that erasable paint you can, use. And she, on every window, she got the maintenance guy to bring up a ladder. And every window, she put a big heart, and she said, "Joe loves Jill." Swear to God, in every single window. Well, my press person came to me because she did it in the evening, and the night before Valentine's Day, and he said, "Look, they want you to go on CBS tomorrow morning to talk about Valentine's Day. We think you should do it." Her name, the interviewer was Juju Chang, and Juju, we were sitting there in the Vice President's large office with all the shades pulled and dark and just the lights on, the Klieg lights, and we're about knee to knee. And while we're getting ready, Juju Chang looks at me and says, "Everybody says you and your wife have a great love affair going." I said, I think so. I said, "But everybody knows I love her more than she loves me." And she looked me straight in the eye, gave me and said, "That's what they say." Ladies and gentlemen, the love of my life and the life of my love. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please. Gosh. Thank you, Mr. President. You know, I never get tired of saying that. And Eliza, I'm so glad to meet you. And we were talking to Eliza earlier, and she was saying she had 4 children. And I said, no wonder you're on the road. You know, looking around this room at so many women who have blazed trails and shattered glass ceilings, I'm so grateful that all of you have joined us. And gosh, it's been so long since I've seen so many of you due to the pandemic. It's just great that you've joined us today. So thank you to all of you who are here. And we really appreciate your coming. And I can't help but think of a woman whose name isn't in our history books, and that's my mother. She was a stay-at-home mom, the mother of 5 girls, and we lived in a suburb of Philadelphia. And she spent her days trying to complete a to-do list that was never quite done. But she was really a terrible cook. You know, we ate frozen fish sticks and boiled hot dogs. And I don't know if any of you remember, she used to make junket. Does anybody here remember junket, that pudding? Everybody's like, no, we don't remember that. Anyway, it was horrible. But she dressed the dinner table with fresh flowers and china each night to make it feel special. And she was witty and quick to laugh, and she was so kind. And she knew exactly what to say to me when my world was falling apart. And that's what I miss the most, how I could call her when I was hurt or angry, when I felt like I'd never, lived up to the person that I wanted to be. And just the sound of her voice could make me feel that everything was okay. She never asked me to follow in her footsteps, only she made sure that I could find my own way, and she'd be there rooting for me. And though she left before I was done needing her, I felt her strength. I still feel her strength inside of me. And I see her fire in our daughter, Ashley. And I know that, my mom never stopped cheering me on. And we're all here today because someone believed in us. It was our mothers, our nanas, and teachers and mentors, because someone taught us to be brave. And we are here to be those women for someone else. In big historic ways, becoming, as the Vice President says, those firsts but not lasts. And in small ways too, helping our daughters believe in a world we haven't won yet. Showing our sons that it's their work too. Taking risks even when we might fail, because we know that there's a young girl who needs to see us try. Today, we honor the women who made us and the women we make. We know that there is still far to travel, but we keep moving, guided by the strong hands of the women who came before us, continuing the path that they forged with sweat and pain and, yes, love. So thank you for being here. Thank you for celebrating this moment with us. May you never forget the women who are cheering you on, and may your voice be that ovation for the girls who come next. Thank you.